Hey guys, Scott here. Uh, my wife's putting my kid to bed, and I'm just thinking here. I'm watching TV, and as we call TV these days, it's basically the YouTube channels or whatever social media streaming, whatever you're doing. It's ironic that now you could just plug in what you want to watch, and you could have hours and hours and hours of that. And back in the day, man. Sitcoms, TV, right? You were going to watch what was coming on. We grew up, me and my sister, we grew up. My parents worked, they both worked. My mom was home a little bit in the beginning and then she went back to work. And, there was a lot of screen time, there was a lot of TV time. And it was 13 channels, it was the basic lineup. Um, here you can go on YouTube, you can watch, I got what, 11? I got 100 videos maybe you could watch. I got, that's just me. If you get sick of me, you can change the channel and you can learn about, how to build a hot rod. You can learn about how to get your cell phone to work better or make a YouTube channel. These shows, these sitcoms, I guess it all started with the TV, the Muppets, Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow. Bill Cosby had a show for a minute there. We had like a pen that he was drawing. I remember a little bee or something, bumblebee. And then I watched the Cosby Show for years. I know he ran into some legal troubles, but the sitcom itself was interesting. Like it really raised me up to understand right from wrong a little bit, just from what the writers were talking about. The one episode with Theo and Bill in the bedroom, and his room is trashed, and he got like a bunch of D's on his report card. And he's like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to be a regular person. You got to watch this episode. It basically takes out the monopoly money and explains to them what's going to happen to him, you know. And like these are the things that I think that this generation of kids, and I mean kids, I guess what do you categorize kids like from like for as soon as they're watching TV, so 3, 4, 5, all the way up to I guess teenage years, before they're getting influenced and going out with the car. I don't know. When you're home, you're waiting for your parents to come home from work. You get home from school. You're at school, and you come home and you put the TV on. You do homework if you were going to do homework. Odds are you blew the homework off because you're sick of being in school all day. You want to be home, watch some TV. So like nowadays, what does it fall? It falls on the students that go to school to be trained by the teachers, right and wrong. If the parents are at work or broken homes or different families or in different locations at different times, like weird shifts, like who's giving the wholesome values? I got a lot of wholesome values from my mom and my dad and my friends and my family. We played a lot, like I was showing the action figures. I had other stimulation, but and other right from wrongs, but a lot of this deeper stuff, it's hard to touch upon with your parents. You want to watch it on a sitcom, you're entertained. It's kind of like between you and the TV. So then you get into like Short Circuit and Alf and Saved by the Bell and Perfect Strangers and The Wonder Years, right? These shows. The Wonder Years was a big one for me. I love that. It gave such deep thought to so many things, especially from that kid's point of view. And I don't know if there was ulterior motives with some of these shows or if there was hidden agendas. I don't know. But I'm telling you, a lot of times, like Full House, you get a final ending in the show and it's a round over. People feel good, feel bad. There's apologies and things move on. It's like happy society. I know it's not real. I know it's make believe, but it was something to shoot for, maybe, right from wrong. You know, you watch an episode of The Wonder Years and you realize how his older brother Wayne picked on him and whatever, and how he had to deal with that. And you digested that, and you're like, I don't have an older brother, but this might be one way that could happen. I guess I got more out of it. Maybe others do too. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. There's a reason why people were watching it. Home Improvement or Tool Time, whatever the show was called. I always got him confused. But Tim Allen with the three boys and the wife and the guy in the fence in Wilson. He's always talking through the fence. How you doing, neighbor? He's the first guy I learned about hot rods right there. He's building a hot rod in the garage. And they reinstated like what I knew about my father and what I knew about myself and the type of man I want to be. You watch shows like Married with Children. You realize that this was all theatrics and jokes and it wasn't real. Like people wouldn't talk like this to each other. It's horrible. He's making fun of people's weight, making fun of people's, characteristics about their body size, making fun of the women, the men, different colors and races, and making fun of his wife. The sitcom wouldn't be allowed now, but it brought about this humor that I knew better. I knew it wasn't how to talk to people. It was, of course, it's common sense. But maybe it's not common sense anymore. Maybe we've lost that education, like in somewhere in the realm of books, right, and being intelligent. There's no social structure. What do these kids have to follow now? You have an adult asking a child, "What do you think?" And the kid is like, "I'm just putting this together here. I'm figuring it out, and I'm building, building my personality." These are big questions. Watch Full House. See if you like what Full House is talking about. I watched Reading Rainbow. I watched Martin growing up. I loved Martin. Shanae. Come on, Martin Lawrence had it down. He had it down pat. Eddie Murphy, the comedians, the entertainers. Who's the boss? The first time I seen a guy vacuuming and being a stay-at-home nanny, he's vacuuming the curtains. He's making like a male joke about some of the domestic duties. He's got his muscles and he's got his attitude. But right there, maybe that's where I got my Italian fake accent that I put on once in a while as a joke. I don't know. But, is that gone now? Are we supposed to watch The Mask and American Idol? Be entertained? I think, these soap operas, my grandmother loves her soap operas. She's like, it's okay. If I miss a whole month, I'll still be caught right up. She's still watching The Price is Right. So, Bob Ross, right? Lucille Ball, The Honeymooners. It's all thrown in. What do we got today? What's the deal today? Is it lacking? Is that the problem with our youth? Is it that simple? Parents needed to work back when I was a kid in the 80s. And most of my friends from the 80s, if not all of them, were good people. They knew right from wrong. They weren't disrespectful. They weren't going to be outright mean. And these are people that, it was a common thing, Some of them ended up not making it. Some of them passed away. But it's not because they were bad people. It's because maybe they made a mistake, bad decision, something, an accident. But now you see, people that don't have that moral code like this. Like you talk to somebody, a younger guy, younger generation, even in their 20s now. Hey, you're going to really sell that car with the Bondo, with the insulation foam holding in the plastic filler? You're not going to tell the guy that's got body work and needs work? Nah, it's his problem. What? You're gonna be able to go to sleep in it? Yeah, go right to sleep. I said, you don't feel bad about screwing him over? No. I learned that from the TV. I learned that from my parents. I learned that from my friends. The whole society was different, right? So now it's cutthroat. And you want to be part of that cutthroat society too, because you don't want to get taken advantage of. So you don't want them to be pushovers, but wow. So look to the sitcom, Seinfeld. Seinfeld, there wasn't very many deep, struggling and wholesome ending of the story. It was always just strife and grife and funnies like the Kramers and the Big Bang Theory. I like that. I like The Office. But these are sitcoms that didn't have that same feeling of right and wrong. There was never one really serious episode, I think, of The Office. I don't think there was one really serious episode of Big Bang Theory where like it was really a shaking, striking, you know, political point, or maybe like somebody got upset because they were being treated, and it was like there was no laughter, like the Jeffersons, right? And then you had All in the Family, which was like completely like, what the heck is this? And it's just a different way of looking at things. There's good and bad in everything, and some of the generation was bad, and it was good that we moved past it. We grew as a society. I don't want to go backwards. I'm not trying to put the progress that we made for equality for women and racial equality. I don't want to go backwards to those older times. It's not why I'm looking at them. I think that there's a positive outlook on what was there and take what's positive from it. Even our own historical history of our society, there has to be at least two people that said that they cared about each other, and we could focus on that. We could look at the love that was shared in these different societies with the charities that were raised and things. There's good and bad in every generation of everybody that's ever lived, period. I don't care when it was, where it was. And we are the same now. There's good and bad here now. And I miss having that little bit of, crutch TV show, put it on, and you get a lesson, especially when you're young and impressionable. I needed that. Movies, I could probably say that there were some movies that really stuck out to me. But the sitcoms was really throwing some deep stuff. The Cosby Show had some deep stuff. The one with Michael J. Fox, Family Ties, they had some deep stuff. Kirk Cameron, what was it? Growing Pains. So all these shows, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, there were some deep ones on there. Remember Will Smith hugging Phil. I believe he was treated really bad, and I remember him crying. And that was like giving me goosebumps right now. It was like giving me a window into something I know nothing about and I never experienced, other than, people make fun of my Middle Eastern descent sometimes growing up, but that was it. I wasn't really treated that way. So I learned a lot. And that was a cultural influence, the TV. What do you guys think? Were you shaped? Were you in front of the TV? A lot of us were outside. I was outside in the 95, 96, 97. We were digging holes and making bike jumps. And I started to get a car and got my wheels straight on a car and just took off. And that was it. And then it was explore the world. But at least in the beginning, those formative years, whatever they were putting on the TV, I watched. And I think I turned out pretty good. And my parents had a big say in that. They instilled what we watched together. We shared it. We laughed. My dad enjoyed Married with Children with me. We watched that a lot. I didn't understand a lot of the jokes at the time, but I watched now, and when I got older, I was like, wow, this is wacky stuff. And now Modern Family. Look at Ed O'Neill now. He's on the spotlight again with that. Good for him. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, notify, put your notifications on. I know I'm asking you to subscribe, and some people don't have a YouTube subscription. I understand that. And listen, if you make a subscription, you just watch me, and I appreciate it. It's free. And you help me out, and maybe I could get a little bit more clout, and maybe some people want to come and talk to me in person. It'd be nice to have a little give and take with other people here. I might have somebody lined up that want to come in and talk from the local area up here. Just got to sit down and talk about what day works. So look forward for that. Okay? Thanks for watching.